know, in memory of her, I wanted to talk to you and share my, you know, tips and my journey of dealing with the grief of losing her now for 5 years, which sounds crazy, but I'm really at peace with it. Did I cry today? Absolutely. I played some of her favorite music when I woke up this morning and let her know I'm thinking about her and I miss her. You know, because it's her day. Today is my mommy's birthday and I miss her dearly. And that's probably all I can say, unless, you know, if I say any more, I'm going to start crying. I really want to do this today for her to, you know, help somebody. There's little mama. Meow meow. Say hi. First, let me just give you a little backstory. I don't know a whole lot about how it all happened as far as her medical condition. She hid it for 3 years. She was dealing with it, and she didn't really, I don't know if she told a soul. It's, to my knowledge, none of my sisters or brothers knew. None of our family knew. So when it all happened, it was literally here today, gone tomorrow. I was here in Tennessee. I was at work, and I got a call and said, Mom stopped breathing, and she's in the hospital. And I tried to keep it together for as long as I can, just kind of calling and giving the update, you know, getting updates from my sister. But the last thing I expected, it was just like the last thing I expected was for her to be gone. Wasn't prepared. I didn't mentally prepare for that. And so I stayed at work and just tried to just have a normal day. You know, couldn't keep it together. You know, worried about her. And I went home. And again, I tried to have a normal day as best I could because I did not want to even think about trying to prepare to lose my mother. So yeah. So I went home and I remember even taking a nap, like trying to be as normal as possible. As normal as possible. That's just all that was going to my mind. Like, don't do anything different. Don't even think about her leaving this earth. Don't even think about it. Don't do it. But as I kept calling and getting updates, you know, my sister began to sound less hopeful. And, you know, at one point she just said, Joyce, come on. I believe I got there the next day, me and my husband. We flew and we went from the airport to the hospital. My sister was outside. It was like, you know, Mama's gone. And I said no. And I just went past her. I didn't even talk to her. I just said no. And walked past her, went upstairs, and a lot transpired after that in the room with her. Family came and showed up. All of my siblings, we just kind of went our separate ways and did our own grieving. I went home and I returned to work and everything. And I would say my first part of my process was crying. I cried. You think I was a crybaby before? Oh my geez. I cried morning, noon, and night. I cried on my way to work. I cried at work in the bathroom nearly every day. I cried on my lunch break. I cried my whole way home. I don't think I've ever cried. I know I haven't cried that much in my life before. That's okay. I was getting it out. This is my mother, my mom. You know, no one ever say needed to tell me to get it out because I was getting it out. Number one, get it out, cry, let it happen, let it flow. I started carrying around eye drops with me because I couldn't control it, and I trying to hold it in felt like didn't feel good. Second thing, I ended up getting pregnant just a few months later with my son. Um, One second, I'm gonna turn her little thing off. I ended up in therapy by accident, trying to get a free gift card through my insurance. And I ended up in therapy because they made me take an assessment, a mental health assessment, and which was good. However, I didn't seek out therapy, so my intentions going in were, wasn't to get better or to heal or to deal with what I was dealing with. So it took me a few sessions to really see the benefit in the therapy session, because at first I was focused on my relationship. She was trying to get to the bottom of my grieving, and my husband was actually gone at the time, and we were just communicating really poorly due to the distance, and she was really trying to help me. So I had to really set my intentions on helping me too, and stop worrying so much about my marriage, and make sure that I was good for my baby boy that was on his way. So I would say definitely seek out therapy. You may have to go through a few therapists to get to somebody that you feel like is good for you. And then once you're in there, really have the intentions on getting better. Don't go in therapy with the mindset of this isn't gonna work, or how good is this person gonna be, and this isn't helping me, or I did this and this didn't work. It's not a quick fix. It takes time, and you really have to practice the things that they tell you to practice, which for me was, some examples was finding out my triggers when it came to my mom. So if I didn't want to cry that day, I probably shouldn't listen to certain songs or turn on the radio at the time that Wiz Khalifa song, it's been a long day without you, my friend, and I tell you all about it when I see you again. That song had just came out. Oh my gosh. So it was on the radio every day, and every time I would hear it, I was done with. So to reiterate that point, seek therapy, be intentional about what you want to get out of therapy. Don't go in there with a closed mind, testing your therapist, trying to make sure that they're good, or they, treat them like they're wizards or magicians. It's on you. How well the therapy works is on you, okay? Because at the end of the day, they're only going off what you tell them. You really know the real you. You really know what you're doing or what you're not doing, or how hard you are trying and how much you're not. So after therapy and setting my intention, she encouraged me to set goals, which was super, super helpful. So I will set goals, looking forward to my baby shower, looking forward to moving, whatever it was. It was very important for me to think about an event that was in the future and to plan for that event. And that was my goal, which was to make it to that event, because I was very afraid of death at this point. I witnessed, it was just weird around this time. I not only lost my mom, I just lost my grandfather. I just witnessed a terrible car wreck. A boy get shot. It was like death was all around. So the goal setting and looking forward to the future really helped, because now you can put yourself in the future and stop thinking about, oh, today I'm going to be dead. You know, it's like, no, I'm going to make it to my baby shower. And also in relation to the fear of death, because I don't think a lot of people talk about this when they talk about grief, how crippling it is. You take the depression and the grief and the fear of death, you don't want to leave the house. You know, all of that combined, you don't want to leave the house. So I started to study death. I started to study the afterlife. I started to inquire about what happens next. I wanted to be knowledgeable of death to try to bring some type of peace to myself. So that's how I do anything. You know, if somebody in my life is just, you know, toxic in me, or I just can't seem to figure them out, or we're butting heads, I'll go try to study their behavior, and if I can understand it, then I can make peace with it. And that's just how I am. So no different with my fear of death at the time. If I can understand it, I can make peace with it. And what better thing to have knowledge on than the only thing that's guaranteed in this life, which is to die. It's the only thing that's guaranteed. And then the next thing I did was focus on life. Being intentional in not giving her death my life too. Not giving her death my life too. It's like when somebody dies and it breaks your heart, because that's literally what it did. It broke my heart. And I stopped living my life. That's like giving the Grim Reaper a 2-for-1. And I know somebody can relate to that, because I know so many people who have given up on life based off of another person's death. You giving your life up. That's a 2-for-1 deal. So don't discount your life. I won't say death, you're going to have to come get me, but I'm not going to walk myself to your doorstep and lay down and say, take me. And then from there, I decided to not only just focus on life, but to focus on me, bettering me. Stop worrying about, you know, am I the perfect wife? Stop worrying about how everybody needs me, being there for everybody, you know, trying to be the perfect sister, trying to be the perfect friend, trying to be the perfect wife, trying to be the perfect employee, and just be the best me that I can. And that took years, and it's a forever journey. But when the focus shifted on me, I found more peace in my life as a whole. My little singer over there. So that's what I have for now, is to just really get back to life, to living inch by inch, step by step, day by day, week by week. Reclaim your life. Don't give death a 2-for-1 deal, a BOGO deal, buy one, get one. Let it come find you, come get you on the beach somewhere, or doing something you love, or walking in your passion, or you completed life. Hopefully we all make it to our 80s and 90s, you know. So those are my tidbits. Stay strong. Find peace. Just let peace be your final destination. So thanks for watching. I'm going to get this channel together, intro, outro. If I don't got it by this video, it's coming for the next, hopefully. Thank you, friends, for watching, and y'all have a beautiful day.